What's up, everybody? Kier Gomes here, and welcome to Way Back Wednesday, episode 15. If you're not familiar, Way Back Wednesday is a series on this channel where we talk about playing cards from 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, basically any playing cards that you may have missed out on if you're new to the cardistry and Magic community. In today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at the Flora V1 playing cards by the United States Playing Card Company. Before we get started, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's roll that intro and get you guys on your way. Alright, now, if you are not familiar with the Flora playing cards, here's everything you need to know. This is a deck designed by Paul Robaya. I think I'm saying that right. If you're not familiar with him, he also designed the Flora V2 deck and the casual playing cards, which you might have seen. He's got a very interesting style with playing cards. He designs kind of luxury looking, but also that kind of LA, Venice Beach type feel. Really awesome designs. I tend to be very partial towards his designs. They speak to me personally, so there you go. The tuck case looks like this. It's done in a glossy cardstock. The front of it says Flora, as you can see, and it's got this really nice kind of Hawaiian shirt pattern. Wraps all the way around the sides and the back. On the back, you just kind of get this white square and then this red band at the bottom, and it says designed by Paul Rabaya. Nothing written on either side of the tuck case. Nothing written on the top. And the bottom has some ad copy and information about the distribution of this deck. In general, it's a pretty standard tuck case, but it is kind of nice. If you look at it, I mean, if you were to pull this out of your pocket and somebody saw it, definitely a good conversation starter, so points for that. On the inside of the tongue flap, you get these two tabs, both with floral prints on the inside that just kind of leak over from the sides of the deck. Let's take a look at the cards. All right, your back design looks like this. You get a fairly thick white border going around the cards. And then on the inside, you get these green, orange, red, yellow, and white, and a little bit of blue floral patterns. So the pattern's actually really nice. It's kind of this traditional Hawaiian style. You get some kind of yellow and orange flowers with those green and blue leaves, and then just this nice kind of burnt orange, almost red background. Looks really good. The borders are pretty thick, so you can see like in a fan, you don't get much out of it. I know that they're thick intentionally. It's part of the design. I don't mind thick borders. I kind of like them, and I think they work really nice for this deck. This is also a two-way back design, so if I hold it this way or if I hold it this way, it makes no difference, which is also a good thing. Your ace of spades looks like this. It's got an enlarged spade pip there in the middle, done with all these wonderful colors. Kind of a repeat of the back design here in this corner of the pip, and then just some geometric shapes to kind of help fill it in. That looks really good. I really like the way that this ace of spades was done. You are also going to get two identical jokers. They kind of have this Hawaiian motif. It's got this kind of dripping pineapple there in the middle with these nice geometric rectangles. Really good color on these jokers. It says Flora there at the bottom. I personally really like the way that these look. These are, in my opinion, two of the best jokers that Paul Rabaya has ever designed. I really do like the jokers on the casual decks as well, but those ones are just... All right, now as far as ad cards and gaff cards are concerned, you are gonna get a blank-faced card. You can use this for poker demonstrations, you can use it for magic tricks, write a note to somebody you care about, whatever. Very nice. Now you also get what looks at first to be a duplicate ace of spades, but you can actually see the color of the design on the inside. The red has been swapped out for black, and that's because the back is actually the back design of the Flora V2 playing cards, which came out earlier this year. You can use this for the Chicago opener effect, which is actually one of my favorite card effects of all time. All right, now the rest of the cards in this deck are gonna appear standard, but there is some customization, so let's talk about that. First thing you'll notice is on the court cards, the colors have been customized. So you can see there's more of this olive green color. That's a lot more prominent. There's no blue, actually just shades of green and yellow and red, which I think actually looks really nice. It's still very standard. It's something that you could definitely use for Magic. Most people wouldn't even know the difference. Oh, it looks good. Your spades are gonna look pretty standard. They are a little bit pointier than you would normally see on a bicycle deck, but in general, I mean, we're talking as standard as you could possibly get without being full standard. In general, really like the way that the cards look. The faces being standard makes this deck very practical to use for Magic routines. But as well, I mean, again, they're standard for a reason. It's a classic. It just looks really, really good, very clean. A closer look at some of the courts. All right, so that's pretty much it for how the cards look. Let's switch angles now and talk about how they handle. All right, now in terms of the handling of this deck of cards, this deck is printed by the United States Playing Card Company, and it is done on casino grade stock, so it is a little bit on the thick side of things, especially in comparison to what you've seen kind of in the past year. This deck was printed in 2017, but overall it feels very, very good. It's not stiff at all. I've broken this deck in quite a bit, but even when I first got it, I remember it being very soft and easy to handle. This is what the cards look like in a fan. Again, with these thick borders, it's a little bit hard to see that back design, so for my personal preference, I could do with the borders a little bit thicker just to really showcase that back design. But you can see it even better in a spread. The cards look very nice, that kind of rustic contrast with the greens and orange with that white. It looks great. I would say the thickness of this deck is very closely comparable to the Reno Red Cherry Casinos or the Red Gemini Casino deck. Feels almost the exact same as that. So if you have one of those two decks, that's exactly what you can expect from the feeling of these cards. I will say they are extremely soft, so I can spring the cards regardless of how thick they are. I can spring them with almost no effort. They just kind of glide from hand to hand, which I really like. I like cards that feel soft in the hands, even if they're thick, kind of like the Copac 310s. Those cards come out of the box feeling like they're crushed, but they're super thick. Kind of the same feeling here. They're very, very springy, but also very malleable. In terms of how these cards look in movement, like if you're doing packet cuts or Sybil cuts, you can see the colors really pop. They look great. It just looks so good. Even look how good it looks in the spring. Just colors everywhere. Look at that. Whew. Yeah, so I like it. Thicker borders, thicker cards. Yeah, a little color change action here. And there you go. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Way Back Wednesday. Also, just a quick reminder, if you haven't yet, I recently did a review for these 3D printed Magic card cases. These are super dope. I actually have been using it since I received it in the mail last week. These are from my friends over at 3D Printed Magic. If you're interested, I would highly recommend heading over to their website to pick one of these up. I'll leave the link in the description, along with the promo code Kier Gomes Magic 9316. If you do that, you'll get 15% off of your purchase at checkout, and I would highly recommend it. If you don't have one of these, you are missing out. Anyway, guys, hope that was enough to get you to subscribe if you haven't, and if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by dropping a like. All that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. I know I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.